Hello everybody, Fun and Reviews here with an old article from 2015 that has to do with something that happened recently also. This is from RT. The headline reads, "Hundreds of UK child sex offenders spared jail, let off with cautions." And it reads, "Hundreds of sex offenders are being given lenient punishments by British judges despite committing abhorrent crimes against children." According to officials, figures from the Ministry of Justice, hundreds of sex offenders have been let off with cautions despite the law saying they should face jail sentences of up to 14 years. According to the MOJ, there were 7,057 cautions handed to sex offenders in the UK since 2009. The figures come as authorities investigate allegations of historic child abuse during the 1970s and 1980s, including a suspected elite pedophile ring consisting of several British politicians. Philip Davis, the Tory MP who disclosed the figures, said sex offenders were not feeling the full force of the law, adding, "It is completely unacceptable to give cautions for sexual activities with children under the age of 13. There are no mitigating factors and no excuses. They should go before a judge," he said. I agree, and they should go to prison for a bit longer than 14 years, I believe. If they hurt a child that way or any way, they need to go away longer. Back to the article. Charities, including the National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children, have said the cautions may have been used if there was an issue regarding children having to give evidence in court, but warned that British courts needed to do more to protect victims of abuse. A custodial sentence for serious sexual offenses sends a very clear message that society will not accept their behavior in any way. It also reflects the lifelong damage the sexual abuse can have on children and young people, NSPCC spokesperson John Brown said. A person's sentence can also mean the offender is given therapy to ensure they understand the impact of their behavior and to reduce their risk of reoffending. In response to the figures, ministers claim they are changing the law to stop the use of cautions on sex offenders. Under the government, sex offenders are more likely to be locked up and for longer. "We've banned the use of cautions for serious offenses, and we're now ensuring this in law," said Conservative Justice Minister Mike Penning. Earlier this month, Home Secretary Theresa May came under fire for failing to get the historic child abuse inquiry off the ground after two Conservative chairwomen left over conflicts of interest. Now let me say this. In the recent trial, a pedophile was convicted but left with without having to serve his time in prison because his wife could not speak English. That's a stupid reason. If she can't speak English, there's a couple choices. She can learn to speak English. She can have an interpreter hired. You don't let a pedophile go like that. From what I read, the pedophile has 5 children of his own. If he's released back into his household, those children should be taken out of that household for their own protection because he's a pedophile. I don't normally say that people's children should be taken away, but he's a convicted pedophile. It's been proven in a court of law that he's a pedophile, and you should not be around children. I have no say over British law, but I do know right from wrong, and apparently, in my opinion, this judge does not. Please leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. And if you enjoyed the video or found it informative, leave a like and subscribe. Have a good day.